Thank you. From Shawshank Kamet, is that pronounced right?
Shashank Kamat.
Kamat, thank you.
Yes.
So this is an application. I'll just read it out here for 12 Brown Drive. The applicant seeking relief from section 11.2 of the Andover in order to construct a garden shed in accordance with the plan provided on file, the Andover Building and Land Use Office. More particularly, the applicant is seeking a reduction in the front yard setback from 50 feet to 38 feet and from the side yard setback from 25 feet to 8 feet. So at this point, if anybody would like to make comments from the application, I guess the applicant first, if you have anything that you would like to add to the application or to say to the board.
I've submitted all the necessary paperwork, including the plot plan and everything. So, you know, the hardship here is to locate the shed anywhere is virtually impossible because of either the reserve septic area that was approved by the Eastern Highlands Health District, as well as my lot gets narrower as you go towards the back. So, and also in the back, I have the well on one side and the septic tank on the other side. So both of those have to, you know, be maintained clear from any structure. So
I see.
yes.
Are you planning to put this this shed on piers? Are you actually going to dig piers, or is it be sitting
It will be on a gravel bed as suggested or by the Carefree Small Building Shed Company in Colchester. And they basically said that they would prefer just a 4-inch gravel bed with a timber frame around it on just sitting on the ground. So,
Mr. Hallisey, can you answer a question for me concerning setback from either the well or from the backup leach field? Are there setbacks involved here?
Okay, I believe for this size there are none. Sheds used to be frost protected, meaning they would be on piers that extend 42 inch below grade. And that's no longer the case up to a certain size. And I believe that this particular shed falls under that size, meaning that you're no longer digging holes in the ground.
Right.
Most sheds are now built off-site and dropped off on a gravel bed. So they have no frost protection. Hence, there is no setback requirement because sheds can be moved, really.
That's correct.
I'm not suggesting that it wouldn't be a concern of mine. I'm just trying to answer the question that the setback is not a requirement per se.
So if Mr. Brown had to, I'm sorry, Mr. Brown, Mr. Kamat had to, he could locate the shed in the backyard if necessary.
Based on that criteria, yes. I mean, that is not that doesn't prevent it, that the health code.
Okay. Do any other board members have any questions for Mr. Kamat?
Yeah,
Elo?
Yeah, I have one side yard requirement going down to 8 feet. What does the neighbor have to say about that?
That's what I was asking too.
Neighbors have not have any objections. All my neighbors are okay with it. I've spoken to them, and as a matter of fact, my neighbors have sheds right on the property line, but that's beside. That's all right. that was grandfathered at this point. But anyway, no, the neighbors are all in good terms with it.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
I just want to point one thing out, if I may. I believe I ran the legal notice indicates it's a 10 by 20 shed. And I think on the site plan, it's actually 12.
Yeah, we were questioning that the other day. Is it 12 or 10?
I don't know whether that changed. It was just simply a mistake on my part. But
I think it's a mistake on your part.
Okay.
So what size is it then? Is it 12 or 10 by 20?
12.
12 by 20?
Yeah.
Okay, my error. I apologize.
Okay. Thank you. Other questions from the board? I also, Mr. Kmet, I went into the town hall to look at your lot and got the picture of the plot. And I noticed that you also own the property right next door. So you actually have two lots of approximately the same size. Is that correct?
That's correct. And we are possibly considering selling the lot because, you know, possibly pay for the shed too. But, you know, that's not something that's decided upon yet. But, you know, I would like to. And also this, you know, that it's just between my wife and I, you know, basically my wife paid for it. So should something happen, she would like to have exclusive right to that property. You know.
Okay, but right now it is in your name, that piece of property right next door.
Yes.
And you own it. And so if you wanted to, you could feasibly locate the shed on that property next door.
Yes. And you know, there is some wetland issues and all that on that property. So, you know, it would be difficult to put a gravel bed there, as well as also in the back of the property, there's a slope. So it would be also difficult to put the shed towards the back because of the slope. So we couldn't really construct a level gravel bed without a lot of construction or a lot of fill brought in or something to level the ground.
I see. Now, is that officially designated wetlands, or you're just saying in general it's wet?
It's generally wet there. I mean, when I mowed the lot, you know, I've had many a times where I've had to get out of the lawnmower and have to push it out of the ruts. And
sure.
So that's, and the other thing I wanted to say is that where I'm proposing, there is, I've been parking our car, and the folks who own my property used to park there. And so that ground is nice and hard, and you know, so I can easily get in and out of that right where the, you know, the front of the shed. So that's seems like the most natural spot to have it there.
Okay. Very good. So the next thing, well, are other questions from the board?
Nope.
No.
Quiet bunch tonight. Wow.
I did have one question.
I said no.
Shed itself,
Bill?
how high is that shed? Is it 2 stories or?
Oh, no. It's just a single story shed, you know.
Oh,
Typical. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Carefree Small Buildings. They basically make sheds that are sold all over this, you know, this area from Colchester all the way to Hebron, and yeah, it's just a typical shed with a, you know, gable roof.
Gotcha.
And,
thank you.
Yeah. They're well made and really nicely made. This is not your Home Depot or Lowe's job.
They make a nice building.
Yeah.
They do.
And
okay, is that all we have for discussion?
I guess on this issue. In other words, we have to be presented with some more paperwork or something, correct? For
well,
next meeting, a vote on it or something.
it was no, there's not going to be a vote because I believe there was an issue, Jim. When I spoke to you before the meeting, the notice was not duly put in place in time. In other words, it didn't meet the 10-day requirement. Is that right?
Okay. Just to be clear, the public notice duly noticed, meaning the legal notice in the paper. It was the sign on the property, the posting by the owner.
And the staking,
which,
right?
Yeah, it was. The staking is now it's listed in the application, but it's not necessarily not in the regulations. But the posting of the sign is, and I believe the owner missed it by a few days. I was out there last Thursday, and it wasn't. And I believe I got communication from Kamat on Friday.
I had put it there, but it was a windy day, and my sign flew out and ended up in my neighbor's chicken coop.
Oh.
So then the next day there was a snow, lots of snow. So anyway, I did put the sign up on both the Fridays as was requested.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that covers it because of snow or wind. Jim, do you have an opinion on that?
Or terrible the night before.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. My opinion is to err on the side of caution. You might want to consider just continuing the meeting until next month, so that is not an issue.
I see. That would be my general thought too.
I tried to get an opinion on the matter from someone else, and I didn't. But it's come up in the past, and that's generally been the way to go. The safe road.
Okay. So, Mr. Kamat, if you could repost that sign,
yeah,
and make sure that it stays up. That way, everybody has obviously, the full time to see it and read it and have and then what we'll do is we will continue this hearing or this application till next month's meeting. I know it's February. Do you know what date that is? By any chance, Jim or Abby, do you happen to know? I know I submitted the dates for the year, but I can't remember where that falls. It would be is it the second week of the month on a Wednesday? Is that correct? Or the third?
Third Wednesday.
Third Wednesday.
I'm not aware of any holidays. I mean, there is a President's Day somewhere in February, but I don't know. I don't have the regular meeting schedule. No.
The third Wednesday lands on the 16th, which is the week before President's Day. So that shouldn't be an issue if it's the 16th.
Okay, so we will continue this then to the February 16th regularly planned ZBA meeting.
If I may make a plea, the folks at Carefree, we already, they built the shed and they're ready to deliver. So, they just chomping at the bit to, get the shed over here. So it's just kind of makes it that much difficult for us, and I wanted to, I filed the application in time, and yes, the sign was put up 10 days ahead of, and so I'd like you guys to reconsider that decision because
it was windy as could be the night before the storm. I know that because I was out in it. It was horrendous.
Okay.
It was worse than when it was 3 degrees. And it was probably 20 that night. But I was over in Gilead working, and it was terrible. But
again, Jim, I don't know if we have without proper notice posted. Do we have the ability to move forward, or is it something that we should again table or continue until the 16th? I don't know myself.
Okay, again, I appreciate Shash's situation, but I mean, in my position, I have to say the best. I would strongly recommend continuing the hearing.
I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go with your recommendation, Jim, because you obviously are a lot more familiar with these terms, with these regulations. So I realize that is a hardship for you, Mr. Kamat, but just to do things right, to do things newly by code and regulations, I do think it's the responsibility of this board to continue it until the 16th, just so that it is duly posted on the site. I would get that sign up again, and and have it out there. And I apologize, but I don't think I have the jurisdiction to be able to say, oh, well, we're just going to let these regulations go in this particular case.
I do, but just to let you know, I did go on the zoning site and read when the sign had to be posted, and it was posted literally the night before the date. So yes, the sign was there now, and it was there the whole Friday, 10 days before this meeting, through the snowstorm and everything. So, and my neighbors have all read the sign and they're all aware of it. The Hoisingtons, the Eckerts, and so I don't see why it is such an issue now.
Again, the sign is supposed to be up for 10 days. That's all I can say. It's supposed to be up for 10 days. It wasn't. I got to be honest with you. I drove by your property when I was noticed and the sign was not up. I looked for the sign. I didn't see the sign. So I myself didn't see the sign when I drove by the property. So again, I just have to go by regulations. Okay. The sign has to stay up for 10 days. I know it's a bit of a hardship for you to have to hold them off, but again,
okay,
that is the regulations. And I think
what it means is that I have to pay for the storage of the shed there, that's why. And it's costing us money. So, okay, I guess that's the decision. I wish you guys would reconsider, because it's really, just a matter of, yay or nay at this point, so.
Again, I just have to go by the regulations. All right. I apologize for that. So we will see you again on February 16th, okay?
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Kamat.
Thank you.
All right. So we will adjourn the public hearing portion of the meeting. You are more than welcome to stay on for any additional, or you can go ahead and just
okay.
Sign off, Mr. Kamat.
I'll take leave.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. All have a good evening.
Yep.
Thank you,
okay.
Commissioner DeRozier, when you say during the meeting,
well, I say turn the open public hearing part. Now we should go into the regular meeting at this point.
No, I'm saying you should continue the public hearing. That should be the language in the minutes. To continue the public hearing, as opposed to close it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Continue until the February 15th. So it's not closing it, it's continuing it.
16th. Correct.
Thank you. Did you get that, Abby? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great. Okay. So now we can move to the regular meeting. I would like to call the meeting to order. And again, I don't know if anybody else has joined the call since we started. I don't know if Kathy has joined. No. So we have the same amount of people. You have everybody's names, Abby? Great. Thank you very much. So I will go ahead and call the meeting to order. We did the roll call already. We have that. We don't have any alternates that we're seating right now. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda? I'll take that as a no. Public participation, comments about that agenda. It says there is no addition, so it's hard to do. New business, I would like to propose that we have a special meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals because we have a number of new members, including Dave Castanian and Elo. And I'm not sure, but Bill Monroe, I don't think you were there when I first joined the Zoning Board of Appeals. And at that time we had the ability to hear from our past member of the Zoning Board of, or I'm sorry, from John Jim, what was John's last name? John
Valente.
Valente, thank you. Who is in your role, Jim, is that correct? As
he was zoning agent, he was also the wetlands agent.
And the wetlands agent. So he kind of filled in the board because there was a lot of new people on the board at the time, and kind of gave us instruction on how we should look at these meetings, at these applications for appeal. And we also, I believe, had, I forget the gentleman's name, but we had a land use lawyer that joined us too. And they just kind of gave us some overview and insight into the function of this board. And because we have 3 new members right now on the board, I think it would be good just to get together with Jim and zoning agent. What was his name? Jed Larson, Jim?
Jed Larson, the chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Chairman, right. And between the 2 of you, I thought it would be helpful maybe to, you know, just give some insight into the function of this board, how we should consider applications for appeal, you know, what's expected of the board and how we should conduct ourselves, you know, during these applications. And so it was my hope that we could have a special meeting, maybe 2 weeks from now, that we can get out the application and give notice to have this meeting. And actually, I don't know if we even do we have to do that to have a special meeting, Jim, just between the board members when we're not hearing?
No, it would be it would be a public meeting. It would be a special meeting as defined by the Freedom of Information Act, which just basically means you can't add anything to the agenda, and there may be different posting requirements. Nonetheless, it's a relatively simple process. It is a public meeting, and it needs to be posted in accordance with. It's definitely a public meeting.
So
meaning simply that anybody, you know, will be on the town's website. Anybody who wishes to join can.
Okay, great. Is there any possibility, and I don't know what's going on right now with the town, to meet in person at the town hall, or is that not possible right now due to COVID?
I don't know offhand.
I just thought it might be a more comfortable, easier to meet, ask questions, review documents, things of that nature together, as we did the last time a couple of years ago. So if it's possible, I guess.
As you know, this is a very dynamic situation, and these rules change
Yes.
day to day. I don't know what the policy is today.
Okay.
Nor do I know what it will be like in 2 weeks.
Exactly. Should I check with our town administrator to see what's going on there, Jim? Maybe I should check with.
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine.
Mr. Anderson.
If I get the notice out, you know, a week ahead of time, then people will know one way or the other.
Great.
You know, it would be on. I'll send an agenda out. You know, I'll post it. I'll send the agenda out, and the location will be on there, or the fact that it's virtual will be on there one way or the other.
Okay. So what I'll do is, well, let me ask the rest of the board. Would the rest of the board be willing to meet in person at the town hall if we can secure the meeting room, or would everybody prefer to stay Zoom?
Especially.
I'm sorry, was that Walt?
Yes.
You were saying?
I'm in favor of it face-to-face for the new people. More beneficial for them, I think.
Right. Thank you. Maybe I can hear from Elo.
I would prefer in-person meeting.
In person.
I've had 3 injections already, so I'm reasonably safe.
Good. Bill?
I'll be fine with an in-person meeting.
Okay, great. I think that's everybody, right? All right, great. So I'll talk to Eric Anderson tomorrow. I'll give him a call, and I'll get back to you, Jim, once I know whether or not we'll be able to use the meeting room at the town hall. Okay. If not, we'll just have to have a Zoom. But I think it would be beneficial to have some of the codes and regulations in front of people. You know, make up some copies and hand them out so that we can all look at different things, so we have a better handle on, you know, just what the regulations are and what our responsibilities are as the Zoning Board of Appeals. So we'll get that notice. Yes, Jim.
Yeah, I'd be happy to send out a packet prior to the meeting for people to preview.
Super. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jim. That's excellent. Perfect. So Jim, you'll take care of getting the notice posted. I'll let you know by tomorrow whether or not we can use the room or if it'll be Zoom. And one way or another, we'll make sure everybody has that packet from Jim. Okay, so right now it's so 2 weeks from today would be what? Let me get my calendar up here. If we could do it on, let's see, calendar. 2 weeks from today would be Wednesday, the 2nd of February. How does that sound to everybody?
Good.
Okay.
Yep. Is that Groundhog's Day, Bill?
Is that Groundhog's Day? I don't know. Is that a national holiday?
I thought it was. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think so. Okay. So we will go for February 2nd, Abby. And okay, so that's our special meeting, and Jim will take care of getting that posted and getting that public out. Okay. Is there any other new business?
Nope.
Okay. Did everybody get a copy of the minutes from our October meeting? Elo?
No, I didn't receive it yet, but if you post it, I can read it on a computer. Okay.
Well, actually, you wouldn't be able to vote on them anyways, right? Because you weren't there. So it would be Bill, myself, and Walt, right? Is that enough to vote on passing the approval of the minutes, Jim?
Yes.
For the three of us?
Yes.
It is. Okay. So between myself, I know I have read and reviewed the minutes from October. They look fine to me. Abby does a great job. So Bill, have you had a chance to review them, and are you okay as they are submitted?
I am. I'm okay.
Thank you very much. And Walter, are you okay with the minutes as they were submitted from the October meeting?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. So we'll take that as they are approved. I believe that is all we have. Anything else from you, Jim?
No.
Anybody else on the board? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Yes. I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Walter. Do I hear that second? Yes.
There's two sets of minutes on the agenda.
You know what? I saw that set from January, I think it was, and I was wondering why they were on there. February?
Okay. The reason being is they weren't voted upon, and probably the reason is it was not on the agenda. It was probably left off the agenda. Actually, I kind of researched that. So it just wasn't on the agenda, hence wasn't voted on. So it's here.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
It just was a...
And again, I did look those over, but it was hard to remember exactly, you know,
Sure.
what was discussed and exactly, but they looked perfectly good to me from my memory. I don't know, Bill, if you had a chance to return to review those as well from February.
I did, and it didn't seem to be anything wrong with February either. So
thank you very much. And Walt?
Anyway.
Yep. Same way.
Same. Very good though. So we're all good with the minutes from February as well. So both the October and the February minutes are approved as submitted. Thank you, Jim. Okay, at this point, do we have a motion to adjourn? I think we already had one from Walter. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Bill. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Yelo. And Walter, I believe you said you submitted it, so it's an aye for you as well. Well, thank you, everybody. Yep. Thank you, Abby, for helping us out tonight, and Jim for your extra help. And we see everybody on February 2nd, hopefully at the town hall, if not via Zoom. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Bill. Take care.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.